So, the closer we get to version 5.6, the more it feels like the perfect time to start speculating even further into Genshin Impact's future. Because let's be honest, half the fun of playing Genshin isn't just about the content we have now. It's about looking ahead, planning for those crazy upcoming banners, and dreaming about who we might add to our teams next. And that's exactly what we're going to do in today's video. We're not just stopping at 5.6. No, we're going to look all the way into 6.0, piecing together leaks, patterns, lore hints, and reasonable speculation to build a full overview of what banners we could realistically expect over the next few months. Alright, let's start where we know things for certain, version 5.6. First off, the Phase 1 banners are officially confirmed to feature Escoffier and Nivea. Escoffier is the brand new cryo support polearm user from Fontaine, specializing in freeze comps and boosting cryo and hydro damage. Nivea, on the other hand, remains the current queen of Geo DPS, with her insane shotgun-style Geo bursts and high flexibility in team comps. The 4-star lineup for Phase 1 already has one confirmed member, Aoife, the new Anemo Catalyst user from Natalon, who fights midair with a gun. Pretty stylish, if you ask me. Other potential 4-stars for Phase 1 are Lynette, Layla, and Tama. That has been leaked by HomDGCat. He is a very reliable leaker, but still, not full confirmation. Then moving to Phase 2, we'll have Kinich and Raiden Shogun. Kinich is the ever-reliable Dendro DPS unit, and Raiden is, well, Raiden, the Electro Archon herself. If you've missed her previous reruns, this could be your best chance to grab her before we move deeper into Natlan's story. Kujo Sarah is also almost guaranteed to be one of the 4-stars on her banner, because let's be real, when Raiden appears, Sarah isn't far behind. Now, beyond the main banners, there's something even crazier happening in version 5.6, the Inazuma Chronicled Wish. For anyone unfamiliar with how Chronicled Wishes work, here's a simple breakdown. Chronicled Wish banners allow you to pick a 5-star character or weapon from a selected pool as your designated item. When you pull a 5-star, you have a 50% chance of getting your selected character or weapon. If you lose that 50-50, you'll earn a fate point. Once you have one fate point, your next 5-star pull is guaranteed to be your chosen target. Fate points reset if you change your choice, but pity carries over between Chronicled Wishes, which is huge for saving progress. In version 5.6 Inazuma Chronicled Wish, we are getting Ayaka, Ayato, Wamiya, Chiori, Miko, Ito, Kokomi, and Kazuha. Basically everyone from Inazuma except Mizuki, who is too new to be added yet. Raiden is missing too from the Chronicled Wish, but she's already featured on her standard limited banner, so no big loss. Think about how crazy this is. You can basically complete your entire Inazuma 5-star collection in one version. That has never happened before in Genshin's history. Plus, their signature weapons are also included on the weapons side of the Chronicled Wish. Absolutely insane value if you're an Inazuma fan, or just looking to power up your account. Alright, now let's move beyond 5.6 and dive into pure speculation territory, starting with version 5.7. Version 5.7 is shaping up to be an absolute monster. Skirk, the long-awaited Cryo Sword DPS, is basically confirmed to debut here. And if you've been following leaks, you'll know that she's a single-target monster, optimized for freeze comps and absolutely cracked in the right team setup, especially if you have Escoffier from 5.6. But that's not all. Based on Genshin's typical patterns for Archon reruns, Mavuika is very likely to get her first rerun in 5.7 as well. Hoyoverse usually brings back Archons about 3 to 4 patches after their debut, and Mavuika's release was in 5.3. So 5.7 fits perfectly. Besides that, we're still waiting for Emily to get her first rerun. She debuted back in version 4.8 and hasn't appeared again since. That's a very long gap by Genshin standards, and it's increasingly likely that she will return soon. 5.7 feels right for her. And if Hoyoverse decides to continue the trend of rerunning every Natlon character before moving into the next region, we could also see Mualani appear again. but be cautious here. This pattern has been broken before, most famously with Riosley, so nothing is guaranteed. Now let's talk about version 5.8, the summer event patch. This version is traditionally reserved for big, fun, and light-hearted content. But even then, the banners usually have some serious value. Based on release timelines, Citlali and Chaska are both extremely strong candidates for reruns in 5.8. They're the last of the Natlan characters to not have a rerun by that time, and the timing lines up perfectly with the end of the Natlan cycle. As for other banners in 5.8, it's a bit harder to predict. Much of it will likely revolve around the summer event theme, and those events often bring back characters who fit the vibe rather than the lore progression. So anything beyond Citlali and Chaska would just be a pure guess at this point. Finally, let's take a giant leap into the future, version 6.0. 6.0 marks the official transition into the next region after Natlan, and if you've been keeping up with lore hints and story fragments, you'll know that Dragonspine is going to be at the center of the narrative again. There are already rumors suggesting that Durin, the legendary monster tied to Dragonspine, could become a playable character. On top of that, if Dragonspine really is the setting for 6.0's main questline, it would make complete sense for Wanderer and Albedo to both get reruns. Wanderer's connection to the broader Fatui lore and Albedo's deep ties to Dragonspine's mysteries make them prime candidates to appear again. So to summarize everything, version 5.6 will feature Escoffier, Navia, Kinnich, Raiden, Aoife confirmed, and the Inazuma Chronicled Wish banner. Version 5.7 brings Skirk's debut, Mavwika's likely rerun, possible Emily and Walani reruns. Version 5.8 suggests Citlali and Chaska reruns, plus summer event surprises, and version 6.0 will maybe have a Dragonspine arc, potential Durin playable plus Wanderer and Albedo reruns very possible. And one last bit of advice before we end today's roadmap journey. Always pull for characters you love first. Meta comes and goes, but if you really enjoy a character's design, lore, or playstyle, they'll always stay relevant for you personally. Also, be smart with your primo gems. The next few patches are going to be absolutely brutal on your wallets if you're not careful. Plan your pulls, prioritize what you really want, and don't let hype or leaks pressure you into choices you'll regret. Alright, that's it for today's video. Thanks so much for hanging out with me. Let me know in the comments who you're planning to save for, and who you think will break the meta next. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss all the upcoming breakdowns, banner reviews, and primo gem guides. See you in the next one!